afternoon at 1:16, coming to you here on Live Impact News. I'm Jane Monreal. Nick Sturtevant is off today on this Memorial Day, and you saw a special edition of Flashpoint running for an extra few minutes there. So as we come to you, we're going to play some of these Memorial Day ceremonies, including the one at Arlington National Cemetery, where the president just wrapped up comments. We will start that from the beginning with folks remembering and honoring the fallen all across the nation, including around the Charlotte metro. But first, want to talk about some of our local news headlines, some of the stories we're following for you today on WCNC Charlotte, the first of which involves your drive. If you've driven through the NoDa community lately, you've been probably experiencing those jarring bumps along North Davidson Street and East 36. That's where the railroad tracks cross. So our Walker Lawson on this story today. He joins us live now, looking into this. Why is it so rough out there, Walker?
Well, it's rough because they're doing a railroad improvement project, essentially. So these tracks are operated by Aberdeen Western, which is a company out there. It's Aberdeen, Carolina and Western Railway. And so they basically were doing a rail replacement project that was supposed to start in May, and it's starting now in June, on June 5th. So each crossing, they're going to be closing for approximately 3 days while they work on these. So for a lot of people, I guess they were kind of doing prep work out there in a sense. And so it's led to these tracks being very difficult to drive over. There's a lot of gravel throughout the area. Miles Harris, one of our reporters, has complained about biking over it and trying to get around it. So we've been working with them to try to get some details, a little bit of clarity on what exactly it's for, in a sense. So they say they run freight trains through NoDa 7 days a week at all times, and that it's a very active rail line. So they're doing some work. They have a project they'll be kind of announcing a little bit later. For the reason why they're also doing some other work out there. So got some answers for people. June 5th is when work is going to start, so you might see some relief. But some residents there say it's not soon enough.
Yeah, for sure. So in the meantime, what are drivers doing to either slow down or crossing them or avoid them altogether? Or is that possible?
Jane. Yeah, Jane, I mean, honestly, I saw some people fly over them today,
Oh, boy.
which was not really ideal, but we've had some images I actually had sent to me from some people of cars being stuck, of bumpers falling off of some of these vehicles. So a lot of the people that go through that area, because it is a heavily traveled area, so they explained to me that you kind of have to run the risk and go as slow as you can. I know, for example, today it was raining, and they said that sometimes it gets worse when it rains, especially after you kind of notice, and you'll see in our package tonight just how and I guess the wording would be how difficult it is to get these. It's to get a hole in a sense, and it's not. There's kind of these gaps, and there's gravel everywhere, and there's these plates out there that they seemingly were starting to put down. So it's definitely a rough commute. I didn't want to take my own car over it. I'll say that.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds like a nightmare. So June 5th, if they start, and then they're going to be at it for a few days. So it could be first or second week of June before there's approved.
Yeah, and it didn't, when they had responded to us, obviously today's a holiday, so for people that, know, most people aren't really working, but they had said that their work will take place first in the NoDa area, so I'm assuming they're going to be doing these improvements to all of their tracks, but we specifically requested information on these two tracks, because people have, for weeks, if not a couple months now, been complaining about this.
All right. I would imagine some literally saw the bottom fall out of their car then. Is that what you're trying to say?
That's all I'm saying.
Okay. Walker Lawson will join us here on WCNC Charlotte. His story coming up at 4:30, and we'll see those images. All right, Walker, take it easy. Don't fly over those railroad tracks now.
Yeah.
All right, see ya.
Fly over the railroads, especially when it's wet.
Yeah, it just sounds awful. All right, Walker, see you soon. All right. In the meantime, he mentioned the rain. We know it's, not very pleasant out there. We already saw Waxhaw when they were having their Memorial Day service and ceremony this morning. It was raining really hard at times, and then a cell would go through. But look at this. This is Kannapolis. Beautiful shot there. Sun is shining, and a ceremony still or just about wrapped up. The Memorial Day ceremony wrapping up there in Kannapolis. Beautiful day out there. Rebecca Birdsall covering the weather for us today earlier on WCNC Charlotte. This is her report.
Good Monday afternoon and happy Memorial Day, everyone. Today marks day number 5 in a row where Charlotte Douglas Airport has picked up measurable rainfall. And within those days, including this morning's rainfall, the Charlotte Douglas Airport has picked up nearly 2.5 inches. And of course, more rain fell early this afternoon. We've got more on the way going into the rest of the evening hours. So just be aware, might want to have that rain gear on hand if you do have any Memorial Day plans. And we will, of course, see those totals only continue to rise up as we've got rain chances each and every day this week, so get used to that view. High temperatures today pretty seasonal for this time of year, right near 80 degrees. So warm and humid, that's going to be the name of the game. We've got rain and thunderstorms moving in all across the greater Charlotte area, and that is going to be the pattern this week, each and every day featuring some sort of rain and storm risk. So that is why you'll see this graphic a lot. It's going to be that excessive rainfall impact. Notice that much of the area under that medium and under a low risk as well. So we'll carry that risk each and every day. But today that threat is elevated just because we'll see more of that scattered activity. I think a lot more of us will have a chance to get in on these heavy downpours, some of which could dump a lot of rainfall in a short period of time. Also something called training storms, which means basically stationary heavy rainfall that can lead to some localized flooding. That's what we'll be watching for. So some pooling, some ponding, especially out on the roadways. If you live in a flood-prone area, you'll definitely want to be weather aware. So futurecast looks like this going into the next couple of hours. Again, that band of rain has moved off to the north and east, but another band of heavy rain is going to replace it. In fact, it's going to be these counties here, south and east of the Charlotte Metro, that will likely have the greatest risk, at least to see some minor flooding out there. That's what we'll be watching for. That coverage also extends up towards the mountains and foothills. Notice there are lots of breaks in between the action, so you do have windows of opportunity to get out and about again for this Memorial Day holiday. So if you haven't already, download that WCNC app. We'll actually give you a radar. You can track those showers and storms in real time right on your phone there. As we go through about 9 o'clock, we've got a band of potentially some strong storms moving alongside the I-40 corridor, bringing a lot of rainfall. That's where this model has most of that coverage for today and this evening. By the time we fast forward into Tuesday morning, pretty much all of us waking up to patchy dense fog, likely what we've been doing over the past couple of mornings. Temperatures in the upper 60s to lower 70s. A few showers, but this really starts to pick up with a little bit of daytime heating. Not everyone getting in on the action, but again, carrying that risk for at least some storms as we go towards the peak of the daytime heating. Now, we'll carry that risk for Wednesday, and then an approaching cold front Thursday and Friday may work to briefly dry us off. Not totally zero rain chances, but they go right back up as that cold front stalls down to the south, heading towards this weekend. Some soakers that also is going to bring those high temperatures down for both Saturday and Sunday into the 70s. An additional 1 to 3 inches of rain certainly possible as we go towards this next week ahead, which is why, again, we have that concern for flooding. We certainly need the rainfall, but to completely end the drought, we would need 15 inches of rain in 1 month. And so far this month of May, we've picked up over 4 inches of certainly some beneficial rainfall, and it's a step in the right direction, but not necessarily a drought buster. We need much more consistent rainfall. Highs this week, fairly seasonal, like I mentioned, in the 80s, but a little bit cooler going towards the weekend as well in this Jerry Hunt Supercenter 7-day forecast. So today we'll be dodging showers and thunderstorms. That is going to be the trend all week long, with increased rain chances and cooler temperatures for the weekend.
Here now at 1:26, we'll take a quick break on Live Impact News on your WCNC Charlotte app. Thanks for downloading the app.